Hello and welcome to Physics Problems One by One.
So here is a problem. As always, read it, maybe once, maybe twice, and then pause the video and try to solve it yourself.
I'll be talking about weightlessness today, how to experience weightlessness and what it is. We talked about discrepancies of mass, differences, because it's completely different things. Mass, which is a property of the body, and the weight, which is combination, multiplication, m multiplied by g. And we talked how this originates, this confusion, how it has been originated, and we talked about the method of measuring weight, which is on stable platform, no acceleration. And in previous clips we have showed that if the body is accelerating up, for example, then it's being pushed by N force and by mg force, and this is some platform where body is, for instance, floor of the elevator is going up, and we have that N equal mg plus ma. And so that means if we measure this force, it would be bigger if acceleration is up, or smaller if acceleration is down. And basically that means that reading of the measurement device, which we, if we're not careful, will say that this is a weight, well, they will change. And that means that if we're going up with a huge acceleration, for instance, if our acceleration equals g, we're accelerating up, the same thing that we would be falling down if we would be in free fall, then equal 2mg. And we have 2 times the weight suddenly. And yes, we will feel this weight. Everything, our body will feel very heavy. And if we go 5G, that's what dogfighters do in the air, 5G, 7G. The person will black out if it will be 10G. But at 5G, your lip would become like swelled, and you would not be able to hold it together, and hands would be very difficult. All your body, you will feel that it's very heavy. But it's have nothing with that fact that you have more mass. You have the same mass. And your weight is still mg, it's your feeling, because you have tremendous force that pushing you up in this case. So, but I'm talking about weightlessness. How you create weightlessness? Well, if the same thing you're going not up but down, then n equal mg minus ma. And if you're falling down, your acceleration equal g. So let's put here g up, and this is g down. So here is axis this way, and here is this axis this way. So a equals g, that means n equals 0. And what means a equals g? A equals g means the body is falling down free fall. And if the body is falling down free fall, n equals 0, that means only one force is applied, and this force is mg. And it doesn't matter how the body falls. If the body falls along straight line, or the body goes along parabola, being thrown at v0, right? v0 alpha. So, weightless, and we will have very different feeling about our body. Suddenly our hands will be light, our feet would be light, everything would be light. And it would be very different feeling, and we say that our internal sensors will say we weigh nothing, but it's not that we weigh nothing, it's that we can move everything without any easy. But basically, people describe this as a feeling of weightlessness. And so how you obtain this feeling? For example, you can jump from 1 meter. Wouldn't recommend you to go much higher. You stand here, this is 1 meter, and you jump. And while you're jumping, your body is weightless. So unfortunately, it's extremely fast. Fraction of a second, and you don't have time to feel the... If you want to jump from 10 meters, it would be about a second, but the landing would be terrible. And so you will kill yourself, but you will feel weightlessness. If you dive from the skydiving, and you fly like for a minute, you think you will be weightless, but you won't, because very soon there would be two forces, resistance, this is your body, and mg. So here would be only mg, so again you would be weightlessness in the very beginning, but as you go up, as you go down, the speed will grow tremendously fast, and with the speed goes resistance, and suddenly you will be falling with a constant speed. V constant and A equals 0, and there would be no weightlessness. You of course would be in that weird position, but it would be no weightlessness. Likewise, if you go into the bath of water, like Archimedes did, you will feel that you can move easy, but in the end of the day, this is one force, Archimedes force, and then this is mg. And again, there are two forces, and they are balanced, and acceleration equals 0, because this minus this equal, they balance. And if they balance, they equal 0, one minus another, and then ma, A has only one choice, to be 0. Okay, so how you will do it? You can jump, but there are two things. One thing that you have to jump carefully not to kill yourself in the end, and second way, you try to skydive, but again, you will not kill yourself because you have a safety chute that you can open after flying for like a minute or so from high in the sky, but you will not be weightless because you will still have mg and resistance, and remember, you're weightless only if mg, only one force is applied to you. You have to have it. So there are two ways actually. One way is flying on the orbit, like astronauts or cosmonauts. They're flying on the orbit. It's actually free fall. I'm not be talking about this. We are too far from this. It would be like at least 2-3 playlists down the road, so a couple months probably. And I will return to this concept of weightlessness when you're in the space falling or orbiting around the Earth, which is exactly like a free fall. But here on Earth, there is a ways to experience weightlessness. If you have enough money, you can buy a ticket, and there is, I forget how it's called, zero gravity or no gravity, some kind of nonsense like this, because there is no zero gravity. We cannot have zero gravity. We always have mg, that Mother Earth pulling us towards itself, no matter what. It's not possible to create zero gravity. It's just marketing trick to describe weightlessness, mixing around, but basically how they do. They have an aircraft, and this aircraft goes like this, boom, and then it starts flowing ideal parabola. Then it's dive down, then it goes up. So this from here to here, this is a parabola. And this is exactly, you're inside this aircraft. This aircraft moves with a constant speed v0, as if it moves with v0 angel alpha. This is constant speed v0 cosine alpha, and it moves along this axis with initial speed v0 sine alpha, and exactly like in two-dimensional playlist, I will not repeat this, but this speed would be v0 sine alpha minus gt. So aircraft is working very hard, and the pilots are working very hard, because aircraft is not a body that's free falling. Aircraft has the forces of engine pulling in this way. It has the resistance of the air on the aircraft. If this is an aircraft, it has engine force, it has resistance force, and it have mg directed down. So all of this sideways, those wings are a little bit out of the way, but anyways, this is how the aircraft goes. And also it uses exactly control of this trajectory, and this trajectory must be parabola. But that means that our body in the very beginning, inside this like cabin, it has this speed. It knows nothing about aircraft. It just flies like this until it hits something. But it hits nothing because the aircraft is very carefully maintaining this trajectory. So the guys inside this aircraft, they have only one force, and this force is mg. No more forces. And basically they experiencing a weightlessness for the duration of this time, and this duration I don't know. Let's say, I think they say 30 seconds from here to here, 30 seconds this, so 15 seconds this, so time equal, what it is equal? Let's find out. Time is equal, let's say, initial in this direction, final speed in this direction is 0, initial speed is v0 sine alpha minus gt, and that means gt equal v0 sine alpha, and t equal v0 sine alpha divided over g, but then I have to find what is v0. I better use different formula. I say h, this h, right? It's roughly gt squared over 2. Of course, when I start up, I have to use v0 sine alpha minus, but when I go down from here, which is exactly the same, I start with 0 initial speed, so I straight write h equals 0 plus gt squared, and I have time equal 2h over g and square root of it, right? I found time, but if I know time, I know the h. And if, let's say, that's for estimate, let's say I'm interested not in time, I'm interested in h. H is a question mark, and time, let's say 15 seconds, as it was advertised, 15 seconds up. So this becomes h equal g is 10 times squared 15 squared divided over 2. It becomes 10 multiply 225 divided over 2. This would be 100,000, very roughly. 1,000 meters. So it takes 1,000 meters. 1,000 meters to climb, 1,000 minutes to dive, and during this time, you can find this time from this formula, or from this formula now. During this time, time already given what I'm talking. So during this 30 seconds, you gain 1 kilometer, you dive 1 kilometer, and then you come to this thing. And here, suddenly, your acceleration is moving up because you're falling down with this acceleration g, and here your speed is 0, so it's up. So you have here like you're feeling overweight. The n is bigger than mg. Mg is this point is less than n here, so you just feeling heavy. And then you climb again and dive again, climb again, and you pay a lot of money for this. And it's silly, but you're kind of flying inside this cabin and you're experiencing free fall. Nowhere else can you experiencing free fall on Earth because it will be very painful. And even if you fall skydiving, you will have not a one force but two resistance, air resistance. Or if you have some things when you can, there are two things actually. One is this air tunnel that allows you to float and this air coming down from you. But again, this air pushing you up, mg is a gravity is pushing you down, and n equal mg, and it's not one force, and it has to be one force gravity. So once they call it zero gravity, it's no gravity, it's complete nonsense. when you're flying inside this aircraft, you have mg, and it's exactly the gravity. And it's a gravity that creates this free fall. It's simply you kind of in this situation eliminate all other forces. So it's not zero gravity. Zero other forces would be the correct way of calling it. Not no gravity, no other forces. It would be called not zero gravity, gravity only. No gravity, but gravity only, but it would be only very complicated for consumer with a lot of money who wants to spend on this. So they don't do it. Another one little thing, I forgot where you can do it, it's a roller coaster. If you go on a roller coaster and then go down, it's like a free fall. It's like a free fall from high with the roller coaster is 50 meters. So you're falling down 50 meters. Yes, and that's why you're experiencing only one force. You kind of, and it's safe because it's kind of lands you nicely. And there is no air resistance, so it's as close as it will be for much cheaper than flying this commercial, right? Anyways, I hope this discussion was useful. I hope you liked it. I hope you want more than subscribe bell and put your comments and questions in the comment section. And I see you next time.